My name is Anastasia Stianov, and I was the MC at the City Council debate on September 30th. Although our debate was suddenly cut short due to a fire at the venue, we are allowing all candidates 2 minutes to present their closing statements. They were asked to submit those statements no later than 6 p.m. on October 3rd.
Hi, my name is Tara Ramesh, and I'm the moderator for Post 5. Today, candidate Cesare and candidate DiBiase, you have time to share your closing remarks. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, student leadership. Let's just say your questions last week were on fire. I started my debate by asking you one simple question. Who do you trust? Who has the qualifications and experience to secure your future in Johns Creek? Who do you trust to assure your quality of life remains intact? I have lived in Johns Creek with my wife and children for over 27 years. Professionally, I have been a director, vice president, senior vice president for various software and telecommunication companies for over 25 years. I have worked with Fortune 500 companies, traveled the world, negotiating multi-million-dollar deals, building relationships and partnerships. For the last 18 years, I have run my own successful small business. Additionally, I have been serving and giving back to the community for years. From my HOA to the Town Center Advisory Committee to the Board of Zoning Appeals and now currently Northview High School Football Board. This election is too important to elect a candidate who has no knowledge or prior experience serving the community. There is work to be done. I believe Johns Creek is on a path for greatness, and I have the knowledge, experience to get the job done. I will work hard to assure our schools and property values continue to rise. I will work hard to assure that Johns Creek remains safe, a place where you and your family can take a bike ride, a walk, and feel secure. A place to enjoy the vibrancy of a town center while listening to music and enjoying your favorite meal. A place to call home with pride. Today, I humbly and respectfully ask for your trust so I can continue to serve you. My name is Larry DiBiase. With your vote on November 2nd, together we can secure the future. Thank you.
Post 3 candidates, thank you once again for joining us throughout this entire debate. And now you may present any closing remarks or statements. Thank you.
Hi, it's Anthony Shorter, candidate for Post 3. We talked about a lot of important issues tonight at the debate. Issues that is going to help enrich our vibrant, diverse community. But what we did not discuss, and is unanimously by everyone who voted in favor of the Legacy Center and the Town Center, how we're going to make it happen. In order for us to build this beautiful Town Center and Legacy Center, we're going to have to establish some partnerships, private sector partnerships. Partnerships with corporations who are willing to come into Johns Creek and invest in our infrastructure. In order to have those partnerships, it's going to require the right leadership. Leadership that is able to drive results and produce outcomes. My 25 plus years of experience in corporate America, working for Walt Disney Pictures, Sony Pictures Entertainment, HBO, and now I'm at the Art Institute of Atlanta, gives me an advantage because this is what I do for a living. I'm asking you to give me an opportunity to prove myself and give me an opportunity to work with the new mayor and the new city council to help build a brighter future for Johns Creek. Let's build Johns Creek's future together. I'm asking you to mark your ballot, Anthony Shorter, for Johns Creek. Thank you.
Again, thank you so much, Student Leadership Johns Creek, for hosting this year's City Council debates. Just a few nights ago, you heard from many members of our community, each who were vibing to be your representative at City Hall. This isn't about politics or about how long one has lived in Johns Creek. It's about who can get the job done. I ask that you consider my experience in governance, my willingness to serve, and my commitment to stay the course. We have a better future ahead of us, Johns Creek, and I believe that together we can get there. I humbly ask for your support on November the 2nd for City Council Post 3. Vote Cassandra Littlejohn. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you again to the Standard Club and Leadership Johns Creek. Our opening statements at the beginning of the debate were supposed to answer the following questions. How long have you lived in Johns Creek, and what exactly have you done to contribute to Johns Creek during this time? My opponent made no mention of doing anything for Johns Creek other than serving on the landscape committee on her HOA board. I have been volunteering since I moved here in 2013. As a city, we are at a crossroads. We'll be getting a new mayor and a city council with no municipal experience. I believe I have the necessary experience to serve and will be committed, dedicated, prepared, and willing to collaborate with residents, city officials, and my fellow council members. With all due respect to my opponent, she lacks the necessary experience and knowledge of the workings of Johns Creek. She was completely unaware that our park bond money is nearly exhausted and we haven't even finished a quarter of Colley Creek Park, let alone begun any progress on Linear Park. It's imperative that we elect someone that has historical knowledge of the city and knows more than just what is on the surface. Our 2018 comprehensive plan's focus is to preserve and protect Johns Creek's residential neighborhoods and quality of life by managing development, and I strongly believe that is the very thing that makes us exceptional. I love Johns Creek, and one of the reasons we moved here was because it wasn't Roswell, Duluth, or Sandy Springs. One of the reasons our quality of life is so great is that we have limited multifamily housing compared to some of the overdeveloped, crowded suburbs around us. Changing our zoning laws and pushing for new multifamily housing properties would fundamentally change what makes Johns Creek Johns Creek. It would negatively impact our infrastructure, schools, and safety, and it would contribute to our already stressed stormwater issues. Anyone who would assert otherwise is completely out of touch with what the citizens of Johns Creek desire and do not have our interests at heart. I humbly ask for your vote on November 2nd.
Hi, my name is LaWanna Hurt Tucker, and all my friends call me Lee, and so can you. I'm extremely proud to have lived or worked in this community for almost 18 years. I'm a Johns Creek homeowner and a successful business executive with over 60 employees where I manage a multi-million-dollar budget. And of course, the mom to the most amazing 6-year-old daughter. And of course, you're a candidate for Johns Creek City Council Post Seat 1 at large. Look guys, I know that Johns Creek is the best place to live, work, and raise a family. However, I have seen firsthand that as a mom and a homeowner, there are definitely some things that we can do to move this city forward. And you have my commitment that as your next city council member, I'll continue to work with our police officers and our neighborhood groups who've been working diligently to keep the crime wave that's already plaguing neighboring cities out of Johns Creek. And as your next city council member, I promise to secure funding for the town center that has been much needed and long delayed. And when we finally build that town center, I promise to have the Legacy Center be front and center of that project. Now look guys, I promise to try to keep our taxes low and fair and fight for the rights of every single Johns Creek homeowner, not just the ones that are on committees and the people who've been here for over 20 years. Johns Creek is at a crossroads, folks. Let's be clear. And we can either pivot and progress, or we can pause and ponder on the promise of preserving a community that the census has already showed us has started to shift. We can no longer allow fear to divide us and keep us afraid to move the city forward. Let's be honest, guys. They keep telling us that Johns Creek is a small city, but it's not. The census says that we are the 10th largest city in this state, and we have got to start acting like it. This is not Mayberry. We have to have the infrastructure set up to move this city forward. And look, I'll do all that I can to make this city move forward. And over the next couple of weeks, I hope to earn your support, your prayers, and of course your vote. Thank you. Vote for me, November 2nd. Thank you.
Our Johns Creek has these current critical tasks to deal with: town center, stormwater, parks, and transportation projects. We need a strong and dedicated council member who can start off on day one, keep the projects moving. Primary focus is City of Johns Creek and only City of Johns Creek. I have served, been serving, will serve the residents of Johns Creek. You need a councilman who can keep your taxes low, who will respect and support first responders, especially police department, who will appreciate and recognize the effort of city staff and preserve the quality of life and character in Johns Creek. I am a person of integrity. Unification is my goal. Diligence is in my approach. I am a long-term resident of Johns Creek and I care for this city. As I mentioned in the debate, I posted the videos of Ms. Tucker's interview from August, which shows her contempt for Johns Creek residents. You can see it on tunkeeforjc.com. Please vote for me. Election date is November 2nd. Dilip Tunke, Post 1. Thank you. Thank you, Student Leadership Johns Creek, Irene Sanders, Standard Club, and residents of Johns Creek. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to all of the closing statements. Please remember to vote on November 2nd.